My name is Kyle, and we have a real problem. That problem is a subgenre I've come to hate in anime and manga, the Isekai. More specifically, the modern Isekai. Each year, studios continue to churn out more and more, and they are usually some of the most boring content being created for the medium. For those of you fortunate to not know what an isekai is, in Japanese it means another world or different world, and usually ends up with a protagonist transported to a fantasy or sci-fi setting, most commonly by dying in our own world.
やばいこのままじゃ自動販売機が危ない
They then awaken in this new world, but retain all their previous memories. Those characters usually end up using their knowledge of our world to assist them in the new one. So say they are a baker in our world. Over in this new world, their knowledge of modern baking techniques will end up coming into play so that they are overpowered and disrupt everything. These almost always end up as power fantasy stories. So how is this going to work? I'm going to watch through the first 3 episodes of an isekai each video and give you feedback on it. And also, could they do better? Let's take a look at one so you know exactly what an isekai is. Today we'll be discussing Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? Trope number 1. The majority of isekais feel the need to give their titles such long and convoluted names. They pretty much spell out the full premise as well. As for this one, I have never once gotten this name right when it wasn't written down in front of me. I'm looking at it now. I've just called it the average isekai, which is a much more fitting name for it in every respect. Everything about this anime is average, and not in a good way. Dull story, animation, and character designs make the 3 episodes I got through a slog. I would have rather watched a bad anime if it at least was trying. Didn't I Say Make My Abilities Average started as a light novel and later got manga and anime adaptations. All of them have differences, but for this I will be focusing on the 2019 Studio Project 9 anime today. So the elevator pitch for this one is, Miles was a Japanese teenage schoolgirl named Misato in our world, who is without any friends, as to focus on their studies. One day she witnesses a child about to be hit by a truck and gives her life to save them. Trope 2. Being hit by a truck to start off the isekai is such a well-known internet meme, it has become known as Truck-kun. In fact, the Wikipedia article on it references this series. Heck, I'm using it as a logo. See? Right there. Back to average again. In the afterlife, Mile wishes to be of average abilities so they can better live a normal life and finally find the friendship that was missing from their previous life. Except, by average, that takes the average power level of all the creatures in the world, including massively overpowered elder dragons and such, so she still ends up a super powerful 12-year-old girl over 5,000 times stronger than the average human of the world. Mile does all she can to hold back this power, but since she has led 2 sheltered lives at this point, she doesn't know how the world works. Luckily, she befriends 3 other girls and enrolls in a hunter school together. So this must really be a school anime where we see the characters grow and get better together, right? Not at all. The school aspect really takes all of 1 episode before we time jump over it and they graduate. Trope 3, and this is in general, they usually move so fast at the detriment of building the world and its characters. Many of these stories' pacing is so rushed because we waste so much time getting there. In 3 episodes, we don't get to know anyone, and Miles' friends, Reina, Davis, and Pauline, are nothing more than props to her story, or just to be in awe of her abilities in a fight. Each gets their moments to show their own skills, but lackluster animation doesn't really do them any service. In Mavis's first fight, the swordswoman of the group, we waste so long on Miles' face watching the fight than to show anything of interest. This is true for the other 2 girls as well, and by the end of 3 episodes, you don't really feel like you can know any of them. Even Miles' story isn't more than the characters in another world, so we don't get a sense of their current life here. We do get a creepy reoccurring gag about Miles being flat-chested, a 12-year-old girl. I don't know if this was used in lieu of actual character development, but it seems to be out of touch. If you wanted to make this joke, make them older. The only good thing I can say about this anime is that the voice actors are going for it for both the English and Japanese dubs, and are more than serviceable. Sadly, everything previously mentioned is letting them down. Now to the meat of this show, Isekyle, could this anime be saved? One of the biggest gripes with Isekai is that most of them don't need to be. Does being an Isekai help? Not really here. You could have made Mile be lonely and still from this fantasy world originally, and gain these amazing powers from another source, and desire to just be normal and trying to find friendship. One of these Elder Dragons could have given her the powers for saving them, or something like that. There just isn't anything we gain story-wise by making this character from our world. Except there is a moment where they make an Nendroid toy to show their otaku roots.
What an unusual little doll.
Cute, huh? It's an SD figure, sort of a Nendonoroid.
This doesn't really go anywhere in these episodes, but again, this may later play out somehow. Overall, by putting these isekai trappings on it, well, it makes it feel like it's getting held back. Let's go back to the school idea. Revisit that. She wants ordinary? Well, there is a reason anime and manga has continued to use it in settings, and even the most fantastical. My Hero, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, the list goes on. These tales show you can still tell big stories, but keep it grounded somehow. By making it just a quick stop, it hurts pacing. It doesn't seem like any of the storytelling to that point was necessary. These are just a few ways they could have crafted a better story experience. It may not have changed the animation or character design, but I've seen worse, and still be invested in the story to see it through. For didn't I say to make my abilities average, I give it my Hayao Miyazaki Anime Was a Mistake award. As he was talking about the modern anime industry, this shows a number of the problems with it that he was speaking of. I'm not saying that anime needs to be art, as I have enjoyed more than a few I would consider bad, but even then they have to swing, have something to say, good or bad. This doesn't. Its biggest sin is it's boring, and in 3 episodes I have a hard time thinking, all of a sudden you are going to grab me. At best, this is a filler anime to fit a time slot, and worse, a creepy waste of resources. It isn't the worst, but sometimes being average can feel just as bad. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed Isekyle, and please like and subscribe. There's a ton more isekais out there, so we'll be back soon to deal with another world.